Finally.
We are.
Good to see you, brother. Where are you
Dude,
today?
I am at a local coffee shop. It's my office, I
You're
like
you're
to
at your
say.
office. I got you. Yeah.
I'm at the office, yeah.
But
Yeah.
in
How about
in
you, man?
in Rhode Island?
Yeah, yeah, I'm in Rhode Island.
You're in Rhode Island, yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at I briefly saw the chat this morning, although I've just been running around all day, and I saw some pictures of like 3 feet of snow up there.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Somebody,
no
I,
way.
well, like a few days ago, I was in there and I saw that somebody had organized a meetup with people in the
Yeah.
group in somewhere in Maryland, it looked like. And
Yep. Yep.
I was like, you know what? I wonder if anyone is in New England in here.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
asked,
Yep.
and dude, Monica, I think her
Monica,
last name's
yeah.
Sibian.
Sibian, yeah.
Dude, she's like my neighbor. I mean,
Is she?
she
She's
lives in
great.
Little Compton, and that's like 10-minute drive for me in Rhode Island
Really?
here. I live in Tiverton. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So we connected on the side. We're gonna try to set up a coffee or something to meet in person. But I thought that was a pretty small world, like pretty wild.
and she's a great, like she's a fabulous person. Wait, I'll let her tell you her story, but she just got back to New England from living in Costa Rica for quite some time.
Yeah.
Uh
That's what she
yeah,
said. Yeah. Like
cool
eight
stuff.
years or something like that.
Yep, yep, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we
Wow, man.
finally got you on, brother. It's good
Yeah.
to see you.
Me too,
Let
man.
me, I'm gonna, so it's just simple conversation, very easy and stuff. I want to give you some context why I think this conversation is going to be so powerful because of everything you and I have in our mindset about the golden path fallacy and all that type of stuff. We just call it two different things, but we're essentially saying some of the same things.
Yeah.
But let me start with just, and they'll take care of it. But I want to start with just this amazing intro about you because I finally had to go do research on you.
Okay.
And I heard you on a bunch of different shows, and I was like, oh man, I didn't know a lot of these things. But thank you for being my guest today, Brandon. I know you're the
Of
founder of
course.
Tier 1 Consulting, and you're a former U.S. Navy helicopter pilot after 26 years of service, right?
22 years active, 4 years at the academy. I always like to sneak in those extra 4 years that I was
Just
at the Naval
because.
Academy. Yeah, just because.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I know you graduated from the Naval Academy, 2 decades on active duty, flying helicopters, leading teams, rose through the ranks in one of what I consider one of the most structured leadership environments in the world, which is the US Navy. But like many high performers, Brandon was doing exactly what you were supposed to do, perform well, take care of the next assignment, earn that next role, keep climbing until one moment made you pause. I didn't know this about you, but in a conversation with your commanding officer, you were asked why you wanted to someday be a CO or CEO in other realms for other people, and your answer was simple because it was the next step. And that kind of blew me away, and now I understand why you speak the way you speak, which totally caught me off guard. But that moment stuck with him. It revealed something deeper about careers that often unfold just like in the tri-life world, people just follow a particular path, let's say in corporate, unconsciously following step by step what they are told. And that realization for you helped you develop the concept you call the golden path fallacy that I cannot wait to talk to you about today. So I just wanted to welcome you to the show with that context in mind.
Maurice, thank you, man. Long time, like we said when we first jumped on here, long time coming for us to kind of reconnect. We've obviously
Yeah,
connected before in the past,
yeah.
but yeah, thank you for that intro. Really appreciate it. That story that you reminded me of, I don't know where you found that, whether you found that in a post I wrote or if you found it on maybe another episode of
And
a
I think on an
podcast.
interview, you said it on an interview. Yeah, when I was
Yeah,
researching you.
that that's it, dude. That is when I couldn't have told you that at the time, but when I look back and I reflect back on my career,
Yeah.
that is the moment where I realized, oh, I actually better start to get a little bit more intentional about the things I'm saying yes to, this path that I am following, rather than just, oh, well, I'm doing my job here, doing well. Okay, punch the ticket. Now I'm supposed to go over here, do this. I'm not saying that is necessarily the wrong path,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
When I say golden path fallacy, I'm not saying that the path you're on is wrong. How we escape the fallacy, to me, and that was the moment that I realized it, is with intentionality, is with,
with intentionality. Yep.
yeah, like, okay, so you want to keep doing this, but why? Like,
Why? Like, what's the point? Yeah,
what about it
yep.
is important to you, right? So like what I know that we have so much resonance here with Try Life On, but I'm like, how would you kind of describe that in your own kind of words, like that realization to be more intentional with the path that you're on as a way to escape that
Yeah, I
fallacy?
don't even know. When you started saying golden path fallacy when I met you on social media or LinkedIn years ago, it that was the best way I've seen it articulated. Now in my journey, and I know we're going down the road a little bit, I do want to get back to some of the fun stuff, which is your actual career, because not a lot of people know about flying helicopters for the Navy and stuff. But in my path, it was the moment for me was when I was going to make partner, and I was like, this is I'm not getting more free. Like just more hours are coming. I'm getting a little bit more money, an enormous amount of more responsibility, more people to manage, more crises to take care of, but freedom wasn't coming, more hours was coming. So that's when people know in my story I started declining promotions because none of it made any sense to me. Like why am I doing this if this is not something I truly enjoy? I think a lot of people have that inner scratch that's going on. They can feel it, but they don't know what to do about it, which is very scary for people. So all right, we'll get to Golden Pass fallacy, but 26 years in the Navy, man, that's that's a long time flying helicopters. For people who've never been around naval aviation, what did your actual job look like day to day? What did you actually do?
Oh man, well, how can I make it a? I'll take the long story and make it maybe like medium to short for
Yeah,
podcast for podcast episode. So you
yeah,
you graduate, whatever commissioning source, and then you go to flight school. So flight school for me took a couple years, and that's just
hmm
2 years of kind of full time student of learning how to fly, and
yeah,
then that culminates in you go to what you do about 6 months, depends on the platform. But for me, the 60 helicopter, about 6 to 8 months specific to that platform. And so you already have your wings, you're already a pilot. Then you go to that platform.
okay,
Then from there, you graduate, you go to your first operational squadron. And so I'll just sum all that up as
yeah,
when you initially get there, you are you know how to fly the aircraft, but now you're learning how to fight it. Because this is military aviation, right, and not
right,
civilian. So you learn how to fight your platform, and also learning how to interact and deal with other people. So from the very beginning, you're probably in a division. So you're not in charge of the division, but you probably have some folks that are working for you, one or two. Think of it like,
yep,
smallest type of team, just more than just you. And then,
yep,
but your primary duties at first are to master your craft, to become the expert in the aircraft, how to fly it, how to fight it. And
yeah,
depends on the command, depends on the type of unit. My unit, they would send detachments of us out onto frigates, destroyers, cruisers. We'd go out, about 30 people, two helicopters, and we would go out on our deployment kind of with that ship and do what we needed to do on that deployment. The whole role is to come back and take all that knowledge
mm,
and
mm.
become an aircraft commander. So most of your whole
Oh, I
first
see.
first tour, like
Hmm.
3 years or so, is to become an aircraft commander. And then once you have achieved that, then you get a bump in leadership duties. And then yeah, so that's like the first tour.
Yeah, yeah,
So after that, I went and I was an instructor pilot. So I got to spend another 3 years just teaching the new junior pilots who just got their wings, teaching them how to fly and fight the actual fleet aircraft,
That's
the
amazing.
60
You never,
that I flew.
it's like, I mean, I was in the military, but I never really thought about there's flying a platform or flying a helicopter, and then there's learning how to fight with it.
Hmm.
It's two different,
Hmm.
it's two, well, maybe it's just all in one, but I never really thought about it like that. You have to learn how to fight with the thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
absolutely. Yep,
What
because
kind did you fly? What did you actually fly?
the 60 Seahawk. So I started with the Bravo variant and then moved into the Romeo. Our primary missions were anti-submarine and anti-surface warfare, of course, Navy, right? So spent most of our time in the maritime environments. I didn't do any mission flying over land. Some of us do. I just didn't during my career.
Right.
Um, but yeah, the 60 Seahawk. So it's pretty common. The Army flies the Black Hawk, so it's the
Oh,
same airframe, just different missions, different color, gray instead of black. Yeah.
my gosh. Did you ever run into uh Colonel Ballinger or John
Not,
Ballinger in
yeah,
aviation?
not while I was serving. No, I ran into him in
Yeah.
LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I
You ran
met
into him on
him.
LinkedIn too, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He flew I think he flew Marine One, didn't he?
He flew Marine One. Yeah, he was in the presidential detail. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right. I think it's amazing. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but I started Navy and then
Oh,
I got into the Naval Academy, but I had it in my mind that I wanted to play football at a regular school. So then I got a Navy ROTC scholarship and then switched to Air Force. But there's Navy history in my family. My brother was a CB as well.
oh, cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. All right. I want to talk a little bit about just your leadership progression because not everybody knows the military, but it is just like any other organization that has higher leadership. From you move from being a pilot into leading people. Well, you were
Mhm.
always leading people, but eventually commanding teams. How does that role evolve as you move up through the ranks? So, like, give me a little bit of the rank structure so people understand where you were, and then we'll get into the whole talk about the path.
Okay. So what I just described about my first tour and then being an instructor, that is, I was an O 01, so an ensign in the Navy, so very first officer rank O 01,
Yep.
up to O 03, which is lieutenant. Um, that encompasses the first about 8 years of your career once you commission as an officer for us. And so most of that time is spent, like I said, mastering a craft, becoming the expert, and really doing the technical aspects with along the way some increased leadership responsibility for sure. I mean, from like I told you, from day one, you probably have at least one other person working for you. By the end of
Hmm.
that first tour, maybe you have maybe like I was on a debt as an aircraft commander, so I had maybe 20 other enlisted sailors who, I was the maintenance officer, so they were working for me. But that's about the first tour. About 20 or so people is kind of the max that most
Okay.
lieutenants are leading in my community.
Yep.
Then the next rank is 04. So that's when you get promoted based, and this is like a lot of the work I like to do with leaders is like the leaders who are promoted into these positions of leadership because of their past performance, because you are an expert at flying that helicopter and fighting it, you do well, and then you get promoted into become an O 04 lieutenant commander.
Right.
And then with that, then naturally comes more leadership opportunities. Um, and so what you find slowly as you move up is when you become a leader when you start leading more and more people, it becomes your role is less about being the best pilot, the best whatever it is you're doing, whatever individual contributor you were, and more about helping pull out the best from your entire team,
Right.
right?
Right.
So when
Right.
you're department head, you're going to go out, and I was an OIC. Officer in charge of a detachment, one of those detachments we talked about.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I went out, and so then I was the guy in charge of the 30 people, two helicopters out there, and just executing the aviation, the 60 mission as part of that ship package that we were on. And so that's like away from your home parent command. You got about 30 people under you, a couple aircraft. I mean, millions and millions of dollars, right?
You got a
Of
lot of
aircraft,
responsibility. Yeah.
a lot of responsibility over the horizon. And like mom and dad, that's what we used to call like the commanding officer and the XO who would stay back. Yep, we get back, and now you're a department head of a large department inside the larger command. I was the maintenance officer. So I went from having 30 folks. I came back and I had 200 people working for me as the
200
maintenance
people.
officer. 200.
Wow.
And then we're going to talk about expertise. I had zero expertise about maintaining aircraft. I knew how to fly them. I knew how to fight them. I knew
Wow.
nothing about maintaining other than just what you would run across, like doing pre-flight and basic troubleshooting inside the cockpit, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
none of the maintenance aspect. And all of a sudden, you're in charge of all the maintenance for the entire squadron. 11, 12 aircraft, ensuring that these different aircraft are ready to go out to sea, perform the mission, right? Like that's all on you as the maintenance officer. And before that, I'd never led more than 30 people.
So why
And
why
then,
take
yeah, go
why
ahead.
take that? Why and maybe this gets into what you were talking about before, but you're a pilot. I know you gotta go through different leadership levels just based on my own military career. But why become a maintenance officer if that wasn't your space to begin with? Or is that just the track to follow?
Yeah, that's a great question. The standard track for naval aviation when you're in that department head tour is for us anyway, for 60s in my community, HSM, was to be an OIC if the opportunity is available, and then come back. And your last big job before you finish that tour is either the maintenance officer or the operations officer.
Ah, so it's just preset. That's what I'm getting at. This is just a
Yeah,
preset path for people inside your community.
preset path. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this is the tour that my commanding officer then asked me the question that led
Yeah.
to
So dig
that
into
you
that.
opened up. Yeah.
Yeah. which I love because I think you in the moment probably answered it. Well, let me ask you, in the moment, did you realize what you had said? Did you realize like I don't know why I want to take this particular next role or what have you?
In the moment, that's just what I said. And then my commanding officer, he was a mentor of mine and I really respected him. He was like, Jenks, you may want to rethink that because the further along you go in this
Mm,
community, if you become a commanding officer and you don't have any connection to like why it's important, why you're uniquely meant to be doing it, then you are going to probably run into some issues, either burnout, unsatisfied,
mm.
family problems, like things like that, because it's going to be the responsibility is so much that if you don't have a tie, a connection to why you're doing it personally, it's going to be tough. That's kind of how, I mean, that's not verbatim, obviously, but that's kind of
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
the conversation went with him. That then set me to start to think, wow, that's such a good point. Up to this, it's just been autopilot,
Your career was just
like
autopilot
just doing,
decision.
this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
This is what I'm supposed to do. This is where I'm supposed to go. Even like second tour, when you go from your first operational tour, then to be an instructor pilot, being an instructor pilot is one of those quote golden path uh, roles that for naval aviation, if you're climbing that ladder, if you're an instructor pilot, that just boosts your chances to climb the ladder, right, and keep progressing.
Right.
So all of that, and then coming back to the department, it was just the next step. So that conversation with him, I was nearing the end of that tour as the maintenance officer. Um, I I had done a good job up to that point, and so my commanding
Yeah.
officer was basically like, "You've done a good enough job here to where I'm gonna recommend you to be a commanding officer. I want to know why you want to be a commanding officer, right?" And that's where we got into that conversation about,
What a great number.
yeah, my answer is just, oh well, Yeah, because it's the next step, Skipper. Like, I want to stay in 20. There's another one. Like, why do you want to stay in 20? Well, because, just what you do. I've already been
It's just
in,
what you do. That's yeah. You get the 20
I've already
on.
been in, yeah, I've already been in 13 to 15 at that point or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to do it.
Hmm.
and that, but that conversation, I'm so grateful for that because it really, that's the moment that then I was like, I got to be more intentional about this.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
just set me off on my own journey of introspection. And I found, start with why. And I just started going down this journey of what is important to me. Of what,
yeah.
even if I'm a CEO, like why me? It can't just be because of the next step. Like, why would I be uniquely meant to be in that position? Right. Those kinds of
Why do you
questions.
think no one, well, okay, so I know that you coach people, you call out the golden path fallacy quite a bit. What, what is your experience or what is your thoughts on people having that introspective conversation with themselves? Why don't more people do it? To me, it came instinctive and naturally. I questioned
Mhm.
everything that I was doing. And I still do to this day, even with my own businesses on the side and real estate. And you've noted, like, I've even pulled back from real estate now because I'm like, it doesn't make sense anymore. But for
Mhm.
some reason, adults, I think, mainly adults, just go down a particular path just because. Why does that introspective conversation not come up more for folks?
I think it depends on the person. So I think we all have a unique blueprint.
Hmm.
And I think that some of us are naturally want to dig deeper, get to the core, be introspective like that, and some aren't. Does that mean everybody can't develop it? No. Does that mean you're not curious? No. I think we are all curious from a young age. And I think that with culture, and I don't know the exact quote, but it's like that metaphor of the fish in water, and they meet the fish is in water, and it meets another fish or whatever, and they start talking about the water, and the one fish is like, "What are you talking about, water? Like, I don't know what you're talking about."
Oh,
Because it's just immersed in it. We're just immersed in a culture, and dude, you probably saw this, Mo, in the military. I feel, I mean, it is laid out.
it is.
There is a goal.
Yes.
This is why I call it the golden path fallacy, because in the military, I had several mentors talk to me about the golden path. Part of which, like I told you, first tour, get done, go be an instructor pilot. After that, go do something outside of aviation because that shows that you're branching out, right? And that you're going to have
Mm,
more breadth of experience. And then after that, come back and be a department. I mean, it is a gold. They call it the golden path. At least my mentors called it the golden path. Um, and I think when you're in that environment, that's what all your friends, all your
yes.
colleagues are in the same environment. They're taking the same jobs. You're having the same conversations. It's kind of like, I think that more people don't question it because it's literally, it'd be like swimming up
Yes.
current, right? Like just everything's coming this way, and you would literally be the one who's kind of going this way, and that's
Going against it.
uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like, so I think that's one reason, right? It could
Yeah.
be a number of reasons, but I think that's one reason. Yeah.
So how are you? Okay. Okay. We've kind of talked about the golden path fallacy. I think folks will instinctively understand what we are saying. Like we're just set on these career paths. We don't even question the steps. It's told to us, just like we're told first grade, second grade, third grade, fifth grade, high school, college, degree, get your job. How are you helping people? What do you suggest to people so they, and I don't think anything's wrong with the path. I think there's something wrong with being unconsciously on it, right? You're just kind of trucking along or whatever. But how do you
Yeah.
help people or help people wake up from that? And what do you suggest that they do?
Mm. Yeah. I just want to double click on that
Yeah.
because because I chose to stay in after going through this. I actually saw a great deal of alignment with purpose, with core values in the community I was in and on the path I was on. And I actually then I chose to stay in. I became a commanding officer, et cetera. to your point, there's nothing wrong inherently with being on one of these paths. Right?
Right.
It is the intentionality. It is turn off autopilot a little bit and tune into who you really are, your blueprint, and not blueprint in the fact that I believe that all right, you have a blueprint now, follow those steps.
Yeah.
No, tune into your values, your passions, what lights you up, what energizes you. What do you believe your purpose is? Like, what are you uniquely meant to be doing? Have you ever considered those types of questions? And then you can look at whatever it is you're doing and where's the alignment?
Where's the
And
alignment in it?
you
Yeah.
can start to see the alignment there. And that's what I help people do. I help people tune in to their blueprint.
Hmm.
And I didn't come up with a blueprint process concept. So here, this might be useful to your listeners, Mo.
Please.
Before I became the commanding officer, so in naval aviation, you do 15 months as the second in command, the XO, executive officer, and then you fleet up as long as you didn't get fired. You fleet up
Mhm.
into the commanding officer role, which is like the CEO of a 300 plus person company, so to speak. Right, I was a couple months out from becoming the commanding officer, and I was like, I want help with getting even clearer on what is it that I need to show up and how do I need to be for my command every day.
Mm.
And so I hired a coach, and my coach, she created Blueprint process. So Blueprint is not mine. So I just kind of want
Okay.
to put that out there.
Yeah.
Um, but what I do is I help people, and usually it's someone operating at a new level, like they're getting ready, or maybe they just did either changing context, so one organization to another, quitting, want to go be an entrepreneur after being in corporate, military,
Mm.
transitioning from military to civilian.
Oh, I see. I
My,
see. There's a
my,
shift of sorts.
there's a shift of sorts in context or in level. So
Okay.
you're going from leading 50 to 100 to now you are the commanding officer, CEO, leading 300 plus. And it's just different tool sets. Those are the people that typically come to me, and also vets. And it's helping them first tune into their blueprints,
Yeah.
values, passions, innate skills that they actually enjoy and energize them, not simply the things they were trained to do, um, and purpose. And it's then helping them just get crystal clear on. It's like psychometrics. If you've ever taken like Myers Briggs or a
Hmm.
Hogan,
Hmm.
those assess. It's like that on just exponential. Like the self awareness is just exponential because
Gotcha.
the way we get there is I help you reveal that stuff. Your I don't tell you any of them. I ask you questions
You ask the question that pulls it out of the
that
person.
pulled it out, and then I just help. Okay, let me maybe reflect that back to you, and then let's get that down, and then okay, now you see what was before just kind of all up in your head and jumbled around, and so I help you reveal that, and I help you see it, and then we work on okay, now where are you seeing this show up in your life?
Yes.
Here's what you say is most important to you. Where is it showing up in your life and leadership? Like for me as a CEO, I would go in and I would do these activity tracker exercise where I would spend a week, and every day I was intentionally like, okay, I just got done with this meeting. What was I thinking about? How was I doing in that meeting?
Mm.
Taking notes on that kind of stuff. I would do that for a week. And then I come back with my coach and we would just talk about, okay, so then you could see, oh, I was spending the majority of my time doing crap that like a number of other people could have been doing, not the stuff that was energizing me, not the stuff where I was in the flow, like in my purpose. So
You go.
that's what I help other people do.
Yeah.
I help them first see, and then, okay, now how am I actually aligning that with my life?
And so you just articulated a very structured process with a coach that you had. In my case, and I want to call this out there for people, I just listened to my emotions about it. I think I just did this on the previous podcast episode, but I told folks, even in military career, once I got to 05, I'm a field guy. I needed to be out. That was NCIS in your world. I needed to be out leading my agents, touching them, being with them. I wanted to be part of the mission, tip of the spear. To get to '06, and this is the way it should work, but to get to '06, you have to take all that field knowledge and now go back to headquarters, write policy, and sit at a desk for 3 years. And I was like, my system will not accept that. There was no reason for me. I couldn't go back to headquarters. So when people are like, man, you retired, but you had a line to full board colonel, it's like, it would have been brutal for me to go that path. And I wish I had your CEO asking me the question, why do you want to be full board colonel? My answer would have been, I don't know. I just want to be with the agents. I don't, the highest you could do it at an '05 level, but to get to '06, you had to change. But I want people to recognize that sometimes your emotions are telling you exactly what the problem is in the moment as well. It doesn't have to be necessarily that you have a coach and things of that nature. Listen to yourself as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah,
be
if I could just double.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Mo.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to double click on that. Um, Blueprint players, oftentimes,
Mm,
all the time, are you feel it. So oftentimes you feel something's off. You feel something misaligned, and you might not have the words to say what that is in the moment, and and that's where it's so blueprint. So there's the initial phase we went through. I help you align, right? But now my work with Blueprint for myself, I still work with my coach and I help other people with it. But for me, it's learning even more. How do I actually stop doing and start just being
yes.
more? And it's like when you trust yourself. So I think a lot of it's about confidence and trust in yourself.
Yeah.
Trusting that you've got everything you need inside you, man. And if you don't, you likely have access to another person who can help. And it's like learning to just be and listen and show up. It's like you just show up as yourself and be yourself. Um, and dude, I'm getting like chills right now. And so this is just learning more and more to tune into what I'm feeling right now. Like this is obviously something I'm passionate about.
Yeah. I can
Is
tell.
learning to tune into that and listen and to listen to that and be willing to maybe buck the traditional path or what everybody else is saying you should. I have a friend who says, when are you going to stop shoulding all over yourself and start
That's
to
great.
to listen to yourself and trust that?
Yes.
That is absolutely, dude. I would say, Mo, that is your blueprint speaking to you.
Yeah.
So 100%, man. I'm with you.
Yeah.
100%.
And just as we wrap up, but Brandon, it's hard for people. Like, so most of the folks who are listening to the podcast, they are down the road in their career. Well, I do have some younger folks who listen, but in general, my sweet spot for the podcast is usually people in their 30s up until their probably mid 50s or something. These folks are down the road in their career, and it is very hard for people to do a U-turn or take a left and take a right. They are petrified to do it for some reason.
Yeah,
Any thoughts on that? And then I'll close with a couple of examples just for folks to think through. But that's a hard thing, and I'm sure some of your clients talk to you about that too.
absolutely. One of the biggest kind of fears that I see is, well, what am I supposed to just blow everything up? Like, am I supposed to metaphorically, right? Like, am
Yeah.
I supposed to just quit? Like, walk away from this? I got a family. I got a wife. I got a husband. I've got 3 kids. No, no. It's becoming more intentional. And then like in on the path you're on, in the line of work you're on, you can even then just right there, you can begin to see, I need to be doing a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that. And oh, maybe I'm going to start to explore something over here, right? Some other passion or some other path that I'm interested in or curious about in a light way. You don't have to totally disrupt everything if that's not in the nature, or if that it just you just can't imagine yourself doing that. So
Yeah.
that's That's what I would say. And finding someone else to like, this is where a coach, I think, it doesn't have to be a professional coach, but
Yeah,
having
it can be
someone
someone you
else
trust. Yes.
that you trust, that you can have these types of conversations that you feel safe, you feel like you can tell them whatever you need to tell them, right? There's that psychological safety there. I think that's, I think those are what I would say as the biggest ways for someone to like, okay, I could explore this without totally disrupting my entire world.
Yeah, yeah. The shift is okay. I really like that you said that. The shift is okay, and so I'll be vulnerable for as an example for folks. I left all of those careers that I did. Those were intentional decisions. I've been doing real estate almost 3 decades. I'm no longer doing much of it because it doesn't align with my value system now, which is I want my calendar and schedule wide open so I can do stuff like this with people I actually care about, or be home for my kid who got home early since there's some weird tornado thing going on or whatever like that. Man, but Mo, you can do another million or two or $3 million of real estate. I'm like, it it's not going to make me more happy. What will make me more happy is the intentionality about how I live. So I've made the choice to turn left and not follow the standard path that real estate investors seem to follow, which is I'm going to do this forever. No,
Mhm.
you do exactly, and I just want to use my own example. You do exactly what you said, Brandon, which is where are your values? What is your passion? What is your purpose? And for me, it's what are my emotions telling me? My emotions have told me it's time to
Mhm.
live even more intentionally at 50. I turned 50 a few months ago. Spend time with my parents, do all the things now that the life architecture that I built gives me the ability to do. So I'm just like you. I'm going from doing to being, just making a choice,
Mhm.
making a choice. But it is very difficult because we're swimming in it. It's all over the place.
Yes. Yeah. That
That's
that all resonates. It's right now, right? Like got out of the military. That was an intentional choice, of course.
yeah,
Like you turned down, I turned down my promotion '06, um, and decided to get out and follow this. And every day, there's something about the day that draws me. It's like, oh man, am I a fraud? Am I an imposter? Should I be doing this?
yes, I
Like
go through it too.
it's
Yep.
just all the time, all the time. And I would say it's just that confidence. Like, nope, I'm listening.
Yes.
I'm listening. I try to go on more walks now, more runs, like anything I can do to just be in that listening, that open, I call it receive mode, just to
Yeah, in the
be in that
reception mode.
receive mode.
Yes.
Um, because then it's coming from a place of this is what I'm meant to be doing versus this is what I should be doing because of the water, right? The environment.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I double click on that, and I know the people who are listening are going to double click on this stuff too. And it's a very intentional thing, and you serve as such a good example of the art of the possible. But you did something that is very hard for people to do, which is to name it. You figured out a way to articulate a name or phrase, golden path fallacy, such that it just drives conversation. That's all we need. And then people start waking up a little bit. Oh man, so you didn't take a promotion, but didn't you want the title? No, I didn't want the title. I gotta go home and be with my kid. Like I just love these kinds of conversations. That's why I wanted people to hear it directly from you today.
thank you, Mel.
Yeah,
I love
man.
it too. And I'm honored to be on here with you.
My brother, my brother. All right, man. Good to see you. Hey guys, this is Maurice, host of the Try Life On podcast, and thank you for listening to another episode. I hope you are finding it useful and helping you design your own lifestyle that you don't need a vacation from. If that's the case, please consider dropping a review for me, whether in Apple, iTunes, or in Spotify. Drop a review, put some stars on it, give me some feedback on how I can make the podcast better, what information you are looking for. I am doing my best to get information to you on the Try Life On principles, the 5 freedoms, how to build lifestyle, travel hacking, all of it. And I want to do it for you. So please do a review for me. And until next time, my name is Maurice Philogene, and this is the Try Life On podcast. Peace.